Hello, welcome to People in Perspective. I'm Peter Bensfield, and my guest for this edition is James Skvaril, owner and founder of Production Craft. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Peter.
So, Mr. Skvaril, what was it like starting a business?
Well, it was very difficult and daunting. Starting a business, at least a video business, entails having a certain amount of money because the equipment is expensive. So really the first thing we had to worry about is making sure we had financing from a bank before we could purchase the equipment to get started.
Okay. And what was your favorite filming location?
Well, I think my favorite filming location, we had the opportunity to shoot at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. We shot the Phantom of the Opera. We shot the Phantom of the Opera a number of times in Chicago previous to that, and because we had that experience, they asked if we'd like to go to Washington, D.C. to shoot it at the Kennedy Center. And that was probably, I think, my favorite, one of my favorite jobs, but I like every day.
What was one of your hardest filming locations?
That was, again, probably one of our hardest filming locations. It was good. We had a lot of challenges with running cables for the camera, communicating with all the other technicians because it was a stage performance. And for a stage performance, we really don't have any control. They certainly weren't going to change the lighting, change the sound just for us. So we had to work with all the different departments, making sure that our own needs were met and make sure we had end product was a good tape.
So when you were filming Phantom of the Opera, that was probably one of your biggest jobs, correct?
No, I wouldn't say it was one of our, yes, close to one of our biggest jobs, yeah.
And do you have any examples of like filming you do back near Chicago?
Sure. This last week we were a part of a multi-city teleconference that was being done for a company called Marsh McLennan, and we were the Chicago arm of that. It was also coming from different points around the world, Dubai, Johannesburg, South Africa, Madrid, Spain, Milan, Italy, New York. So there was a lot of technical coordination and logistics to make sure everybody was doing the right things at the right times. When
you went to go film Phantom of the Opera, did you bring all of your crew or just a few?
No, we were able to bring all of our crew, so that was very good because you work with people and you know what to expect and they know what to expect of you, and so that was very good. We got to bring pretty much everybody.
Did you have any childhood filming like opportunities when you were a kid?
Not really. When I was a young person, I did experiment with like still photography. I did a little still photography of nature and my dog and my parents and people like that. But it wasn't until I got into high school that I really got into being interested in film. We made a senior class movie, and I think that was the start of it all. When
you were in high school, did you have any classes like RBTV?
No, there wasn't really an RB television. I actually went to Riverside Brookfield High School, but at that time I don't think we really had it. There was a television department in 1971.
Okay. For some of your examples, I see you brought a camera. What are some of the other types of equipment that you use?
Well, we use a combination of lighting equipment, audio equipment, monitoring equipment, switchers we bring in the field, different video monitors. Most of our equipment today is high definition, but we have to often adapt to standard definition. So we have a lot of hardware that translates one type of signal into standard definition or vice versa, taking an SD and up converting to high definition. So there's a lot of wires usually involved.
When you're in the field, do you normally bring most of your equipment with you, or is it just very little equipment?
No, we usually bring, that's pretty much what our business does. It provides crew and equipment for various types of productions. So we're typically providing both the crew and the equipment. Sometimes we just provide crew people, a lighting person, an audio person. Sometimes it's a very small package of equipment, depending on what people need. But we never just send out equipment. We're not a rental company. There are other companies that do just rent video equipment, but we combine the rental and the we provide it and operate it and try to tie it all together.
Have you ever done anything for Hollywood, like Paramount or anything?
We've worked for Disney. We've worked for Columbia. We've done a variety of. We just did behind the scenes for Showtime. There's a program called. Shameless, and part of that is shot supposedly in Chicago. The rest of it is in California. But they come here a couple times a year and shoot exterior scenes in a neighborhood on the west side of the city, and we shoot behind the scenes footage for that. So we're working for Hollywood companies, during that.
Did you work on any like movies for Disney or?
No, we really aren't involved in feature film production at all.
Okay.
It's shorter subjects sorts of things.
Can we see a demonstration of the camera?
Sure. This is a Panasonic HPX 2700. It's a 2/3 inch video camera. The imager is 2/3 inch. We have a Fujinon lens, zoom lens on the front. This camera records to a P2 card, which is a memory device that holds 64 gigabits per card, and this camera can hold 5 of them. And they go into a slot right here. So this camera, depending upon the compression rate, can record up to, 300 minutes, I believe. So it's kind of heavy. It's got a battery on the back, and we have a little LCD viewfinder. This camera can operate at different types of high definition, 1080, 720. It doesn't do standard definition, so that's why I was mentioning we have to use devices sometimes to convert signals. Unfortunately, this camera doesn't do SD, it only does HD. This camera is about 2 years old. There are some newer models that are a little bit lighter and have pretty much the same performance, and we're kind of thinking we might upgrade into some of those soon. But the problem is there are so many different video cameras, and some of our customers request specific cameras, so we can't have every single camera in the world, so we have to kind of hope we get our guesses right as to which camera to invest in. And we have 2 of these in our company. And when we have 3 camera shoots or 4 camera shoots, we rent cameras from other people to round things out.
Okay. And are any of your cameras wireless?
Yes, we utilize a wireless camera on a daily basis. Our company does the production for CNBC at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group. There's a correspondent named Rick Santelli, and we work with him with a wireless camera every day. We're on the trading floor, and there's people running here and running all over the place. We really couldn't have wires dragging around, so having a wireless camera is certainly essential.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me on People in Perspective. I'm Peter Bensfield. Thanks for watching.